We had this group of really high talented people and we were dysfunctioning a little bit. And by that, I mean that we had created a development process for our area in which we would actually build these new business ideas. And what we were finding is the business ideas weren't getting out the door fast enough. We had low adoption. And these really high talented people were sort of leaning on the skills and the crutches that they brought with them that made them successful in the old world versus adopting the new culture, adopting the new process, and really getting us the velocity we needed to go to market with this capital we'd been given. Well, we did the traditional approach of, well, we need to have some executive sponsorship come and basically mandate that this is the way that things are going to get done, and we'll use the top-down approach because everyone respects leadership here, and we're a culture of compliance. And once that happens, within days, of course, we'll see much more velocity and greater success. And that worked wonderfully. No, it didn't work. It didn't work at all. After about the fourth or fifth large group divisional meeting, we realized that we had to take a different approach.
Okay, and so that's when you brought in Keyhubs.
That's when we brought in Keyhubs. What we wanted to identify is who need to be the people that we need to engage to drive these things forward. So we found 3 people who were within a division of 70, could influence almost the entire division. And getting these 3 people on board was absolutely essential. In change, you've got to make sure that people are engaged in the change. They don't necessarily have to like the change, but they need to understand why the change is happening, and they need to be able to understand that they can actually implement the change, adopt the change. And when you've got some of your key people who promote a positive work culture also doing that, it makes it much easier for the rest of the rank and file to follow. What we found here is these people actually getting excited about promoting the process, talking about the process. We found their eyes sort of light up when we say, by the way, my directs, for example, you're a bigger change agent with this process than I am. You're the one that everyone's looking to make this happen. You know, they're just like, wow, really? So, well, of course I'll follow the process now because I'm the person everyone's looking towards. So it changed their mindset quite a bit. When we released it to the executive managers, I mean, they were just sort of, it was like a brand new toy for them. Even though one of them didn't show up hardly on any of the maps, I mean, they were just fascinated by this. And I think for them, they weren't necessarily concerned about their individual circle, which I found surprising. They were more concerned as leaders, who the people in their organization are that they can go to influence the change. So a couple of things. Number one, I mentioned the empowerment. So important to get people empowered. And understanding who should be empowered has been critical. The second thing is the speed of adoption for the new process. Because we engaged those business owners within our division with a high level of social capital, with a high level of trust around building businesses, and showed them that they could own this process and they were perceived by their peers as keys to success within our division. They have not only have they adopted the process, they have championed the process, but you can see it automatically influencing the rest of the group at a very fast rate, faster than we could have imagined. We asked people, who would you build a team with? As we look at implementation over the next 3 years, who are the folks that you want to build a team with and why? And so what we're trying to get to is what are those shared value systems so we can leverage them. We've empowered and enabled some of our key influencers to have a voice and talk about things like values, to talk about the culture of our division. That's the big change for me with development down to my staff, is adding that network piece of let's figure out who the key networks you need to be involved with and what influence you have over other networks would be. What we want to do is make sure that we're taking continual snapshots of the organization to see how key players or key networks are changing over time, and then really understanding how leadership and individual contributors are impacting that. So we will be continuing to do follow-up assessments over the next few years. I would absolutely not go into another change project without clearly understanding up front, analyzing during, and actually in looking to leverage during implementation.